음악 산업의 발전을 위해 저작권에 관련된 이슈에 대한 더욱 심도 있는 논의를 위해 마련된 자리입니다. 이번 국제 음악 창작자 세미나에 참석해주신 모든 분들을 진심으로 환영합니다.
해외에서 여러분이 오셨던 것 같습니다. 시사기 이사를 맡고 계시는 벤자민 은 선생님, 그 다음에 시사기의 아태 의장을 맡고 계신 사토시 와타나베 선생님을 비롯한 여러 해외에서 오신 전문가분들 또 관련된 분들에게도 감사 인사를 드리겠습니다. 잘 아실 것처럼 저작권 보호는 창작 활동에 있어서 매우 중요한 의미를 갖고 있습니다. 창작자들의 정당한 권익 보호를 위해서 저작권에 대한 적절한 보호 조치와 정당한 대가는 창작자들의 창작 의지를 더 활성화시킬 뿐만 아니라 이 사업의 지속적 가능성을 유지할 수 있다고 생각을 합니다. 특히 음악 시장 같은 경우는 여러분들 잘 아시겠지만 이제는 음반이 아니라 음원으로 시장이 옮겨갔습니다. 음악 자체가 시장의 중심이 음원으로 옮겨졌기 때문에 저작권 보호가 훨씬 더 중요한 의미를 갖게 됐습니다. 또한 저작권 보호 문제는 이제는 한 국가만의 힘으로는 어렵습니다. 모든 세상이 온라인으로 연결되다 보니까 한 국가에서 저작권 보호가 느슨해지면 그 국가를 통해서 저작권 보호에 큰 어려움이 생길 수 있기 때문에 저작권 보호에 대해서는 한 국가만의 힘이 아니라 국제적인 협력이 더 중요합니다. 그런 측면에서 오늘 여러 국가에서 국제적 심포지엄 차원에서 음악 창작자들을 보호와 관련된 세미나가 개최된다는 것은 한결 의미가 있지 않을까 생각을 합니다.
Which previously have been organized in Bangkok, Jakarta, Tokyo, Beijing, and Macau, and this is the second time that we organize these creators seminars in Seoul. One of the big reason we are choosing Seoul is everyone know that K-culture, K-pop, movies, TV series, Korean traditional art is really creating a lot of popularity around the world. It's leading the creative industry not only to bringing the Korean culture from Korea, and then it's
great pleasure to welcome you all here today on behalf of KOMCA. Seeing how many have willingly traveled long distances to be here once again reminds me of just how important our musical work is. As the world develops at a seemingly rapid pace, the music industry has grown remarkably as well. Nowadays,
and we assume that the revenues will be increasing over the time. Of course, in Asia Pacific regions, we see that the market from the music industry will be definitely and rapidly increasing over the time. In doing so, probably if we also have the solid foundation, we see that there are a lot of the synergy and that comes from the Asia Pacific music industries in the future. Of course, we may have some conflicts between the creators and music industries, but still, these two pillars are the fierce.
Actually, buyout contract is a very important issue. In Korea, there has been an issue with buyout, especially in the film industry. Creators' rights and the performance right holders' rights were actually going through a lot of issues related to the buyout. Also, we have issues in the digital single market, and in the Beijing
refers to the rights enjoyed by copyright owners, such as the right to copy, to distribute or communicate the work to the public. Whereas moral rights means the rights that are enjoyed by creators, such as the right to be identified as the author, the right to integrity of the work. And the question we asked is whether moral rights can be waived. And the word waived here means whether it can be contracted out or given up. That means you don't want
Edison, the famous inventor,
우리 말하는 축음기 LP
invented
전신이
LP.
개발이 된 걸로 알겠습니다. 그래서 한 그런 그 후로 한 100년 정도
So Edison developed the phonograph, and after 100 years, the technologies were developed, and in the digital era, we saw the appearance of CDs.
그렇게 아날로그로 왔지만 그 이후로
And after the analog development, we have experienced faster than expected development of technologies. We were
So, the public, the copying, and the private copying levy would have some exceptions from the public use in some cases. But when it comes to the exceptions and the copying, the private copying from the copying machine still, so far,
이용을 받아야 되는 거죠. 공중용 불사기.
are to be also absolutely to be considered. But unfortunately, the cost that we are actually getting is even less than the 100 million won when it comes to the amount of the.
And in 2001, there was a directive, the InfoSoc, and that sort of started off the harmonization of private copying law and made the exception possible. So it basically means that right holders should be fairly compensated if there is an exception being made on copyright law. That's the basis, and every, or at least almost most countries have built that into their national law. Okay, so what are we talking about history-wise? In 1966, Germany started with the first law
making private copying, so they are responsible. But in practice, very difficult. So these are two issues: cabinet order designation, and manufacturers are parties only to cooperate in royalty payment, private remuneration payment. So
the property rights, but it shall conform to the public welfare. And Article 23 says that it guarantees property rights and it will give remuneration to the copyright holders. But if you look at the copyright law, Article 30, it says that private copying is allowed and no remuneration will be paid to the copywriter or creator. Then there is contradiction between the Constitution, Article 20.
And you are telling me that the meaning of life is a teacup? The Guru looked up and said, okay, then maybe it's not a teacup. The purpose of this story is that I'm sitting here and I'm feeling like that Guru because I don't know much about private levy, and in India it is almost non-existent. I was going to make a beautiful PowerPoint presentation for you all about how private levy is in India, but then all the slides would be blank because it does not exist. We don't know about it.